letter went to, yeah?
Yep.
8PP. Alright, let's see what this is about. And you got a letter sent out to you on the 19th of the 2nd.
I believe so.
Hold on a second. Anthony?
Yeah.
Did you pay this money?
Yes, I sent you a check.
You paid it by check on the 6th of the 3rd is when the
Yeah.
on the 6th of the 3rd 2018, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, that's what's on the system. So there isn't a warrant for your arrest.
There is no longer a warrant.
No. Once that money had gone through, then that warrant is then cancelled automatically against you.
I understand.
Yeah?
But if you read my letter, Peter, to Peter Palmer, isn't it?
It's Peter Palmer, yes.
I said I paid it under protest and under duress.
Right, yeah.
Because your letter referred to a court order on which the warrant was obtained.
Right.
Which says I was trespassing in my own home.
No. Hold on. What this is for?
Yeah.
This was for theft.
Yeah, for theft in my own home.
Including by finding.
Whatever. So if I find my...
That's what they've got on here, yeah. Right.
I find stuff in my own house and it's a theft.
So you found stuff in your own house and you was... so how did you get done for theft then?
But that's the same question I have, Peter, and I'm hoping you can help me.
That's going to be an almost impossibility. Basically, I mean, I get the details of what the warrant is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is theft by finding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the police must have come to your address or whatever the case may be. What was the circumstances?
Well, it's funny because I met the police on other matters a couple of times and spoke to them on the phone.
Right.
And they've never mentioned anything about this warrant, even though the lady at the court told me on the phone that the police is the only people who have the warrant, and then you told me you have it.
Well, I had the warrant.
You had it?
I had the warrant. The warrant, that's why you got a letter from me.
Yeah.
Yeah? But if it's circulated on the national computer, as well, the police would have it as well.
They never mention a word about it. 3-4 times I've been in contact with them.
Right. Okay, well...
But that's a different issue. So you had the warrant. What happened to it now?
Well, because it's been paid, as I said, the warrant is cancelled.
But you
Once
would still...
the warrant is only for the money.
I understand, but you would still have the document, isn't it?
No. This is all computerized. You don't have the physical documents anymore.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because I mean, the old days where you had the physical warrant and you was transporting them from A to B.
Yeah.
Those days have gone. I don't know if you will remember way back when a person lost paperwork on the train, etc.
Yeah.
And there was a big hullabaloo about it.
Yeah.
So from then on, they started changing everything. Yeah. And basically, everything is now computerized.
Well, I don't think anything's changed, Peter, because I lost my lottery ticket the other day, and I've never been able to get anything off the computer.
You lost the lottery ticket?
Yeah.
And did you buy it on the computer? Or did you buy it in the shop?
Well, I bought it in the shop, but they gave me a ticket. But when I lost the ticket, the computer wasn't able to get me my million.
I see, I understand.
But, so the warrant is obviously gone way ahead of the lottery. Maybe we should get Camelot to run or get your company to run Camelot.
Well, basically, maybe you should do. But seriously, due to the fact of personal information getting lost, is why everything changed from you having the physical paper warrants that you used to have. Yeah? And everything is now electronic.
Well, according to the law, which the County Court Act 1984, Section 134, you must have a sealed, every court instrument must bear the court seal and the name of the judiciary who made it.
Oh yes, there is going to be, I mean, before each warrant it's got to go through the judicial service and it's got to be signed. So there is one.
Yeah.
Yeah, original one.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, but what I'm saying is before, that one original one,
yeah,
I would have to have in my possession many years ago.
Right.
Is how it used to be. Yeah?
Yeah.
But now, it's all electronic, but there is one warrant.
Yeah.
That is going to be signed and it's going to be in the court system.
I understand.
Yeah?
So you have like a PDF of it or something?
That's right. So what I have is basically on our system, it's downloaded. Yeah. Down to myself, but it will only be electronic. It won't be the physical paperwork.
So what is it when the court lady, I think she's called Angela, when she said to me, only the police have it?
No, well, basically, see, it's not only the police can have it, because I can have a warrant for you, yeah? And it can also be circulated on the police national computers. So the police can have a warrant for you, and I can have the same warrant.
I see.
Yeah?
It's a bit like nanophysics. It can be here and there at the same time.
Well, this is the thing, yeah? Right now the law stands, once they changed it that you didn't have to have the physical warrant,
yeah,
what the law changed and you had to have knowledge of the warrant.
I see.
Yeah, so that's how they got around that system of you not having the physical warrant.
So I have to rely on your knowledge, Peter, to go to jail?
Say that again?
I have to rely on your knowledge to go to jail?
To go to jail?
Yeah.
Why would you have to go to jail?
Well, you said you had an arrest warrant that is based on your knowledge.
Well, basically I had an arrest warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah. For yourself, based on the original warrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is held in the court system.
But you don't.
Let me just finish this little bit. There's also a possibility that the police computers also had that same warrant.
Right.
For your arrest.
Right.
Yeah. Coming from the same place.
Right. So a warrant does exist, and you have a copy of it.
It doesn't exist now.
Right.
Because the warrant has been, the criteria of the warrant has been met.
The warrant's been executed, so to speak.
Well, basically, you have executed the warrant by paying the fine.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
So in other words, right now, as soon as they've received your money, that warrant basically has got to be dismissed, because the warrant was only there for the payment of that money.
So where would the warrant be sitting now? On whose file or attaché case will the warrant be sitting?
Well, the warrant, as I said, won't be sitting anywhere now. You'll probably have the case details. You'll have the case details of the whole account.
Right.
But there will be no warrant on it.
So what would happen to the warrant? Would it?
Well, basically, as I said, once the warrant has been satisfied, the warrant is has to be automatically cancelled, because there's no reason for a warrant.
I understand, but the piece of paper with the court seal on it and the judiciary...
Where that goes to after it's been executed, I don't know.
I thought there might be a warrant graveyard somewhere in the...
no. Well, if there is a warrant graveyard, I wouldn't know.
Well, if it was executed, you know, and there's so many warrants, apparently. Every day I hear about warrants, I've never really seen one myself.
Right, okay. Well, I mean, as I said, the old days, if I met you the old days, I would physically have the warrant with me until they changed that. But
when did they change that law, Peter?
At least 16 years, I would have thought.
And what law is that? Do you know the law? What law is?
No. No, basically, but I can tell you why it came out. Civil servant left paperwork on the train.
Right.
Okay, is what happened, which got into the public domain. domain. Yeah?
Yeah.
And from that, everything was changed. And I don't think the civil servant, he didn't leave anything to do with warrants or whatever the case may be. But it was a government high civil servant that did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from that they had to change everything because all those private documents were now in the public domain. Yeah, which was the responsibility of, obviously, of the government.
So now we got Facebook leaking millions of people's information to Cambridge Analytics. But the papers, so what you're saying now is somewhere a law that you don't know about came into being that there should be no more paper.
There should be no, did you say no more paper?
Yeah, because if it's going to be lost.
As I said, there is an original, there will be the original one signed by...
And where would I be able to get a copy to verify it now, Peter?
Right, well, I know for a fact that you wouldn't be able to get a copy.
Ah.
Full stop.
I see.
Yeah, because even with the old paper warrants,
yeah,
no copies could be taken of them.
Oh.
Yeah, you cannot copy something like that. Full stop.
Because I was trying to get an injunction against it in the court, but I wasn't able to because you need to get the warrant to apply for an injunction.
You need to get the warrant to apply for an injunction.
Well, if you're applying for an injunction against an instrument of the court, you can't apply for an instrument unless you submit it with your application.
I would have thought if it's a case of the police officers or those authorized to arrest the person,
right?
Yeah, can do so on the knowledge of it.
Right.
Yeah, you should be able to get an injunction on the knowledge of having it there, that it's there.
So how do I submit the knowledge with my paperwork?
What would apply to the authorities, I would have thought would apply to yourself.
So how would I submit that knowledge with my paperwork? I can't submit, say, what the police's knowledge is. I need it in black and white.
Well, basically, no. I mean, you had a letter from myself.
Yeah. Your letter, Peter, your letter wasn't signed. So it's got no value. It's got no value at all. It's as if I don't know who typed up that paper and posted it.
Right. Now I understand. It had on there. It would have on there the warrant information, i.e., the area the warrant comes from, the warrant number, and the account number. It would be just. It would.
And your mobile phone for contact.
My mobile number.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you, it would be a simple matter of punching in those details that are on that paperwork to ascertain whether or not a warrant was enforced against you. So whoever told you, that you have to have the physical warrant, because there is no way you would have ever got the physical warrant, even in the old paper warrant days, you wouldn't have got the physical warrant because you can't copy it. Yeah? But they would be able to punch that details in and give you the information that there is a warrant against you. Yeah?
Yeah.
So if you're applying for an injunction or whatever, okay, then you would have proof that there is a warrant against you.
Because, you know, errors and errors and errors. I've got about 10 apologies from the court for all manner of errors, yeah?
Right.
So the chances of the warrant being accurate and lawful is about 0.0001 in 1 trillion.
Right. Now, I wouldn't be in a position to tell you that because I only come along when it reaches warrant stage. Yeah? But I'm only sent that warrant when it's actually already a warrant. What has gone on before it, I wouldn't be privy to it.
But that's what everybody else is telling me.
That's what everybody else is telling me.
Everybody else says, oh, it's somebody else. You know, the London and collection.
I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying it's anybody else. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, understand. I can only tell you what is factual. Yeah? I mean, for instance, the time of the offence, I wasn't there. You was there. You would know I wasn't there. Yeah? The time when it went to court, if you went to court with it, you was there, I wouldn't be there. Because I wouldn't know anything at all about it. Yeah? The only time I would be involved is when it comes to warrant stage. Yeah?
Yeah, but if there's an error along the way and somebody has a similar name to mine, or there was, you know, some kind of mix-up, somebody punching the... Well, once upon a time I went to the doctor, they were going to give me an immunization, and it was all my son's papers was in the wrong docket, and luckily we sorted it out. Otherwise I'd be very high on immunization drugs now.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. I have seen situations before where warrants have come out for two people at the same address, father and son, who have got exactly the same name. Yeah? But the only thing that you can tell the difference between them is the date of birth. Yeah?
Yeah.
I have had warrants like that, and I've gone and I've knocked on the door and I've asked for such and such, and the fella said, yes, that's me.
And he said, why are you wearing a
And then I checked my paperwork and said, hang on, you don't match this date of birth on it. Oh, it's my father, you'll say. Yeah?
So did you...
That has happened before.
So listen, okay. Peter, you're an enforcement, arresting. What you call? You got powers of arrest. You said you're a.
Well, I have powers of arrest. I'm a court enforcement officer. Yeah.
And which court are you affiliated with?
All of them.
Every court.
All of them.
High court, county court, magistrate.
Let me explain quickly how it works. I cover certain areas. Yeah. So you could get a fine anywhere in London, for instance, or outside London. Yeah, but because I cover the patch that you live on, it will probably be sent to me to deal with. From that court will be sent to me to deal with in that area. Yeah.
Okay, so do you cover high courts and magistrate, you know, county courts as well?
Well, no, I don't do county court works. I do magistrate court works.
I see.
Yeah, and crown court works as well sometimes, but you know, the county court is usually I basically do what they class as criminal stuff. Yeah.
How can I issue for money? Be criminals, be classed as criminal.
No. You got the fine.
Yeah.
For a reason. Yeah.
Allegedly.
It's what the offence is. Yeah. The fact that it's for money is a fine that they've asked you to pay. Yeah. As your penance. Yeah.
But if it's a fine, Peter, for me to pay.
Yeah.
For allegedly theft, for argument's sake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Presumably, I have to pay that money back to the person I stole from, not to the crown.
Only if it's compensation. The only time you pay money back to that person is if you're paying compensation. And a lot of fines, or whatever the case, will have compensation inbuilt in it. But the whole fine won't be compensation to the third party.
So if I stole from three different people, £1 million apiece, and there's a court fine that I stole this thing, and then I have to pay back that stolen money to the person I stole the money from, so that they get their money back, isn't it?
Well, basically, I mean, if you stole the thing from a person and the court awards that person compensation within its judiciary, then you have to pay back what compensation, plus whatever court costs or whatever the court puts on top. So when you're paying a fine, it's not just necessarily to compensate the person. You've also got to pay the court as well.
So in this case, allegedly, the person whom lost their goods that I supposedly stole is not getting anything back at all.
I can't say that because I haven't got the full details in front of me.
I see. Very interesting. Very interesting, because the person who put stuff in my house should pay me compensation, Peter.
Yeah, but then that is then for you then to take up, okay, with the service and the police. What did you do about this person who put the stuff in your house?
How can I take it up, Peter, with the same police who arrested me for trespassing my own house?
Right, so when you went to court on it, did you not explain the circumstances to the court?
I tried my best, but nobody would listen. Nobody would I put the land registry documents in the court, 15 copies, and they kicked it under the table.
Right, okay. Right, so basically you're caught in the catch-22 now, then, aren't you?
But,
and I do understand the circumstances, that if obviously you're trying to inform people of A, B, and C, and if they're not listening to you, what else can you do? I do understand that. Yeah? But they must have heard what you had to say to them, and decided either they didn't believe you, or they thought it was not relevant to what was going on.
It's nothing to do with believing or not believing. If you have a matter about trespass, where I'm the homeowner for like 20 years, paid off my mortgage, blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
It's not a question of listening to me. The documents are there at the land registry and wherever else.
Yes, but the question is, how or why did the police come to the property and find this thing in your address?
That is a very good question. And if they find something in my address, why aren't they investigating who on God's earth put it at my address?
Well, basically, I mean, somebody must have told them the thing was at your address. They wouldn't just turn up to an address without knowledge that this thing was there.
Exactly. And this is when people say they wouldn't. Well, I got on video what they did do. Wouldn't doesn't work in law.
No, I do understand what I'm saying. There must have been a reason for them to go to the address in the first place. Did they go to your address looking for that particular item they want?
Well, I would like to know. I mean, I got them on video coming to my address and telling me, just like we're having a conversation.
What did they say?
Peter, I got it on video. There's a video out called Criminal Cops Caught on Camera. They came to my house and they said there was a warrant. And until today, I can't find this warrant, just like we can't find your warrant.
They came to your house.
Yeah.
This is when this all started. They came to your house saying that there was a warrant.
Yeah.
They must explain what the warrant is for.
Well, they said on the video is there, you can look it up. Criminal Cops Caught on Camera. They said, we're going to go down to
at the moment to try and see if I can help. When they came to your address and said they had a warrant.
No, they didn't say they had a warrant.
To search your address?
No.
A warrant for your arrest?
Peter,
what was the case?
Peter.
Yeah.
They didn't say they had a warrant. They spoke exactly like you. They said there was a warrant. They didn't have it. But they said, we're going to check. Well, I'm still waiting for them to check.
To check what?
About the warrant. Where is it?
Hold on. Hang on. No, what I'm saying to you, when they come to your... Because when they approach you at your address, they can't say there was a warrant. They have to say there is a warrant. That's the only reason that there would be there. They either have a warrant to search your address or a warrant to arrest you for something. Yeah? They must tell you there and then, if they've got a warrant to arrest you, that you're being arrested for such and such, or we have a warrant from the court to search your address.
What it is, you can look at the video. They said there was a warrant, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go away and we're going to check the warrant. This is before they arrested me. And they didn't arrest me, Peter. They kidnapped me because, there was no grounds to handcuff me in my own property.
Right, okay. Right, so they came to your address and then went away again?
Yeah, and then they came back, and then there was... I wasn't there, then somebody told me there was like 10 police inside my house. So I went there and walked in, and they go, oh, you're under arrest for trespass.
For trespass?
Yeah, in my own effing house.
Hang on. If you can prove that you live at that address, and you're paying bills at that address...
Well, I lived there 20 years, my friend.
Right, but if you live there and you can prove that you live there, they can't be doing you for trespass.
I like the way you say they can't. Exactly. I agree with you 100%. That's why I say it was a kidnap.
No, unless somewhere along the line something has got lost in translation. I mean, there is no way the police officer is going to come to your house, and say you're trespassing unless he can prove you're trespassing.
Well, I'm still waiting for the proof. I'm still waiting for the proof, Peter. I'm still waiting for the proof.
What I'm saying is, you had bills, etc., in your name.
Mortgage, bills, every goddamn thing. Not me. I had 4 or 5 family members there, living there for donkey's years. One of my nephew was ill as well, and he was even on benefit from the council.
Is it one of your family that's got in touch with them and said that you're there trespassing?
No.
Be sure, because obviously if they're going to say this, yeah, somebody who can prove that they live at that address must be saying to them, well, you don't live there.
Okay, well, look, it's obviously, it's a long story, but I can tell you can look on the video. It's got about this, it's been viewed by nearly 250,000 people, and over 1,000 people are making comments because it looks like a very serious miscarriage of justice. But coming back to your situation, Peter, in my letter where I sent the check, I didn't receive that. It didn't go to me. It goes into the system. Yeah. I see.
Okay.
Okay, have you got an email?
Have I got an email address?
Well, I can send you a copy of the letter.
Alright, yeah, okay. Have you got a pen?
Yep.
It's Peter.
Yep.
Dot Palmer.
Yep.
At justice. Dot gov. Dot UK.
Marvelous. I'll send you a copy of the letter, because in the letter, maybe you can help me right now, I don't know, Peter, but in the letter I was asking for your indemnity insurance details.
Indemnity insurance details?
Yeah.
For what reason?
I don't need to give you a reason.
Right, okay, so, you would still like that, yes?
Yeah, I just want it for my records, because you know, you could, by the sound of it, you're going to retire in Spain tomorrow.
Obviously, I will then have to pass that now on to my line manager, yeah?
No, I want it from you, I don't want it from your line manager.
Sorry?
I want it from you, I don't want it from your line manager. I'm not saying I'm making a claim. I'm just saying I want the details under the Consumer Rights Act 2015. I'm entitled to pay without reason.
As I say, listen, I haven't got a problem with it.
Okay.
But I have to pass it to my manager to get that information to pass to you.
So you don't know, you don't have any details of your indemnity insurance?
I wouldn't be walking around with it, would I?
But do you have the details, yes or no?
Obviously, the court system will have. That's why I will pass it to my line manager so that they can then pass it to me to pass to you.
Do you have it or you don't have it, Peter?
What did I just say?
You didn't give a straight answer.
The court system will have it. I said the court system will have it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay? But I would have to get the information from my line manager so I can pass it to you.
And who is your line manager, Peter?
Sorry?
Who is your line manager?
Who is my line manager?
Yep.
It's a female.
Who is it? I didn't ask you the sex.
Right. Okay. Her name is Miss Smith.
Miss Smith?
That's right.
And which company does she work for?
The same company she works for, the court system. London Collection and Compliance Company.
Oh, LCCC.
That's right.
I get a lot of names. It used to be just the court. It was all magistrate count. Everything was just the court.
Well,
now everything is split into a...
The government has broken everything up into bits and pieces.
Yeah.
You give it a few more years, another 5 years or whatever the case may be, you won't even be talking to somebody that works for the court. You'll be talking to people from private companies. That's what... I tell you... That's what's happening to me at the moment.
I'll tell you a quick joke. I made a complaint on the council because under the law, they're interested. They have to investigate illegal eviction, which is what happened to me. So I sent in the complaint, and then I got a reply from the lady. And on the bottom of the reply on the email, it says Capita.
Capita, yeah. Which is a separate private company.
Yeah, so Capita is responsible, according to her, for illegal eviction, and Capita owns Equita, who is a bailiff. So if you get evicted by Equita, you get a company has to investigate itself.
Yep. That is what's happening to the whole system at the moment. Everything is being broken up and privatized.
Well, look, my friend, I really appreciate your time. You've been absolutely helpful. I'm recording this and everything.
Not a problem.
But listen, I really appreciate your help, and I'm going to pop you a copy of the letter on email, and I'd appreciate if I could get the details for my record.
Yep, as soon as I get it, I will pass it on. Yeah, and get the information that's sent to you.
And I don't know if you're the bad guy, Peter, but I think maybe the bad guys are above your head a little bit, but you're part of it.
Understand, there's always got to be X amount of grunts and soldiers, who do as they're told. No matter whatever system it is, it only works if you've got the people that do as they're told, and then those that make the decisions higher up.
All right, Peter, well, I try to do as I'm told as much as possible. Thank you very much.
Okay?
Bye, sir.
Okay, then.